Hey guys, welcome to the Bibbity Bobbity blog. Vlog. Finding real magic in daily life. Today is Sunday, April 15th, 2018. 107 days or less until my move to California. Yay! Welcome! So today was kind of a sleepy day after yesterday's 80 degrees in Northern Virginia and hot and humid and beautiful because that's just the way I like it. So today is dark and gray and rainy and kind of cool-ish. So I was feeling a little bit low energy today. But we're going to talk about something that I was thinking about today all day as I was going through stuff, and it's why do we hold on to stuff? Why do we hold on to things? What's the purpose of it? I don't really get it. So crazy. So first of all, let's do our Disney trivia. So if you haven't watched yesterday's Bibbity Bobbity vlog, go ahead and go back and watch that video and you can get our Disney trivia question. I'm waiting, come on. Go watch the other video, then come back here. Okay, if you watched yesterday's video, you know what the trivia question was. And here's the answer. Drum roll, please. Disney's Moana, which is another one of my favorite Disney movies. Super inspirational. So I talked about The Greatest Showman yesterday, but Moana was one of those other movies that I saw in the past year or so. I can't remember when it came out exactly. But that super inspired me. You know, it's all about woman power and finding your path and going toward your true calling. Those are all things that I absolutely love and I adore so much. And the music in Moana is very good too. So plus Hawaii, come on. I can't wait to get to Hawaii someday. It's so beautiful, even in an animated feature film. So crazy beautiful. Okay, so let's go to today's line from a Disney movie to continue on with our Disney trivia. Here is the line from a Disney movie. Here we go. Are you ready? I cannot fix it. Only you can fix it. When the fortune come true, then you go back, not before. What fortune? From the fortune cookie. You find the answer in each other. When the fortune come true, then you go back, okay? That is a line from another one of my favorite Disney movies. You can go ahead and leave the movie title in the comment section below, and tomorrow we will reveal the title of the movie that line is from. So stuff. Oh my gosh. I've lived in this home for 8 years. Okay, I'm totally aging myself here, but I have raised 3 children. My youngest is 14, believe it or not. Yes, I had children very, very young, okay? I'm not that old. I'm old-ish, I guess, considering, you know, what your age might be. If you're 25, then yeah, I might be old to you. But I have raised 3 children, and if you have kids, you know, kids come with a ton of stuff. And even if you keep getting rid of stuff year after year, it just seems like there's always stuff. And I guess the more people you have in a house, the more stuff you have. So today I was going through more stuff because I have a charity pickup tomorrow, and I have the charity boxes behind me, or 3 of the boxes. I have more in the corner over there, which I'm not going to show on camera, that I still have to kind of sift through and get together because I am getting rid of at least 50% of everything that is in this house before I move off to California. Because why do we need stuff? Usually I'm pretty good about getting rid of stuff. I'm not one to hold on to stuff. I grew up with a mom who tends to hold on to stuff. lots of stuff. And I am completely the opposite. I really don't like to hold on to too much stuff. But if you have a house, then you tend to hold on to more stuff than you probably really need because you have the space to hold this stuff. Now, here's another thing that I ponder, like I just wonder, we live in this crazy rich country, right? If you live in the US, Canada, or a westernized country, you probably are wealthier than most of the planet, right? Because you make a decent living, even if you're middle class, or even if you're considered to be in poverty in the US, like you're still doing okay compared to the rest of the world. Most of the world, they live on like $1 a day. So in comparison to the rest of the planet, you're doing okay. Just note that, note that most of the planet lives on like $1 a day. So if you live in the US, you are among the richest in the entire world, even if you are considered to be in poverty level. So I was going through my stuff and just thinking about, why do we have stuff? Like, you can't take it with you, right? Like when you go to the great beyond someday, I believe that we return to our creator, and I believe in Jesus. I've talked about this in different videos. I've talked about my faith path and where I've been and where I've come to in my faith, and I do believe in that. But you can't take your stuff with you wherever you go. I mean, all of us know that our time is limited here on Earth and that we have a lifespan of about 100 years or less, about that. And you can't take any of this crap with you. So why do we hold on to it? So as I was going through one of the shelves today, one of the bookshelves today, and like there's a cabinet that's attached to the bookshelf. So I'm opening it up. It's a relatively small shelf, but it's amazing the amount of stuff that you can stuff inside of this cabinet. It's crazy. And I'm going through all this stuff and I'm trying to get rid of 50%, at least 50%, because that is my mission, to get rid of 50% or more of everything that is in this house. And I'm going through some stuff and there are certain things that I'm like, I wanted to get rid of CDs, for example, because who listens to CDs anymore? Like, I don't really listen to CDs anymore. Sometimes I do. And, you know, now I'm an Apple user, so now even the Apple computers don't even have CD or DVD drives in them anymore. So you can't, even if you wanted to listen to a CD in your computer, you can't listen to a CD in your computer because they don't have DVD CD drives. It's crazy. So I'm trying to get rid of these CDs and I'm like, oh, but I really like this one. Like, oh my gosh, I remember when I got this one, like I was in college or a friend gave it to me or an old boyfriend recommended it to me. Like, oh, I remember this and I don't really want to give this up. So I even found myself like falling into the trap of keeping the stuff that I haven't even really used in like many years. Or maybe I take it out like once a year to listen to the CD and then I put it back and I don't listen to it for another year. So why am I keeping this crazy stuff? Now, another solution would be to take those CDs, put them into your computer and like upload it to iTunes or something. The problem with that is that my new MacBook Pro from 2015 doesn't have a CD drive in it, so I can't do that. So do you see the problem here? So I did end up getting rid of like 50% of the CDs, which I really didn't have many to begin with. I probably had like a total of 20 to 30 CDs and I got rid of half. So I did my duty, according to what Justin Scard would say. And so I did that. And then the same thing with cookbooks. Like, who uses cookbooks anymore? Everything's online. We have all the recipes we want online. And not to mention that we probably have better recipes online than we have in cookbooks, because in cookbooks, you don't have all the comments and like people that have tried out those recipes going like, hey, I like this, or hey, I didn't like this, or I added this ingredient because this recipe wasn't quite right. And so you even have reviews on the recipes online. So you don't even need recipe books anymore. But again, I found myself like keeping some of the recipe books and getting rid of like 50% of the recipe books that I had. And on 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 and on. And so like, why do we keep stuff? And why do we have emotional attachments to stuff? And those are the questions that I was asking myself, is like, if you have kids, you know this, you know what I'm talking about here, is that when your kids draw a picture at school and they draw this really cute picture or this painting, like, you don't want to throw that away. Like, why would you throw away? It's like a memory of your child and your child's childhood. And then you feel like guilty throwing away that cute little painting that your child made when he or she was like 6 years old. And you're like, oh, that was so cute. Like, I remember that time. And it's really hard to throw that stuff away. That's what I have a hard time with. I have a hard time throwing that stuff away. So I find myself like, okay, folding it up and putting it into a box, because now I feel guilty about throwing away their painting. So I just don't know why we keep holding on to stuff. If you know why we hold on to stuff, could you like leave it in the comment section below? Because it's not like you can bring back that moment or bring back that memory. It's in your head. And if it's not in your head, then you don't need that memento in the first place because you don't remember. And so I'm just faced with a lot of these questions as I'm packing up the house and as I'm getting rid of stuff. And, you know, and it's like some people I know, they hold on to stuff because they're afraid, like they have this poverty consciousness or this poverty mindset of like, I can't afford to buy this again, so that's why I'm holding on to it. Or the what if syndrome. The what if syndrome is like, what if I need this someday? And that's not really me. I don't have the what if syndrome at all. Like, I'm like, whatever. Like, if I need it someday, then I'll just go buy it. But I'm not going to hold on to it in the event of someday, eventually I might need it. I just don't have that mindset. It's just like, I don't want to hold on to crap that I don't need. But it's just these little memento things that do tend to take up a lot of space. Like, I was going through the other day, you guys, when I was showing you that picture of me when I was 14, I guess, in 1985. And I had all like my yearbooks. And I'm like, why do I really even need these yearbooks? Like, I don't really need them anymore. Like, how often do you take out your yearbooks and look at them? Once a decade, maybe? Like, why do you need that stuff? Like, when you go, now that stuff is going to be a burden on somebody else. It's going to be somebody else's problem. And we have this notion that like, oh, like I want to leave a legacy, like all these memories. But honestly, who's really going to look at that stuff? Your kids aren't going to take the time to look at that stuff. Like, they've got their own lives when they grow up and they have kids and they have families of their own. And so, yeah, so I was faced with that. And I know there's kind of a movement out there now. It's like this minimalist movement. And I don't know much about it, but, you know, it's like people selling their stuff and like living in, I don't want to say like living in poverty because it's not even poverty, just living simplistically, I guess. So living simplistically, I should say. And, you know, I think there's always a happy medium. Like, I don't believe in one extreme or another. Like, I think it's crazy when people hoard stuff. And I know that's a disease. I know if you're a true hoarder, like if you really hoard stuff, like that is a disease. It's a psychological disease. It's like obsessive compulsive disorder. And I have a family member that has that. And I know that that is actually a bona fide mental illness. Like, that is a disease. But other than that, it's like, why do we hold on to stuff? And why do we need to hold on to stuff? I mean, it's totally ridiculous. And so I'm kind of learning that more, even more so than I already knew about that, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of like just trying to get rid of as much stuff as I most possibly can, because it's ridiculous to hold on to stuff. You don't really need it. Most of the stuff that we have, we don't need anyway. And like, I'm marveled in this country at like how we have all these storage centers, and now they have these like pods that you can put out in your driveway to hold the extra stuff that doesn't fit in your house. Like, when it gets to that point, like, red flag, dudes, like, big red flag. Like, if you have to rent an external storage unit to store your stuff, you've got too much stuff. Why does one person need that much stuff? One person does not need that much stuff, no matter what. One person absolutely positively does not need that much stuff. So that's my philosophical realization for today, I guess. Like, again, I want to hear your comments on this. Why do we need stuff? Why do we hold on to stuff? What's the purpose and meaning behind it when you can't take it with you? So thank you so much for joining me. Find your real magic for today. My real magic today was the discovery that I don't need that much stuff. So that was my discovery. What's your real magic for today? Thank you so much again for joining me. Please subscribe to this channel. Share this video with your friends. Thank you for pledging your support on Patreon. I can't do that without you guys. I post 1 to 2 videos daily on my YouTube channel. YouTube does not provide me with the monetary means to keep this channel going. www.patreon.com/MichelleSFondin. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.